What is going on, y'all? Faiz Sports Talk back at it with another video talking, of course, some NBA here to talk about episodes 5 and 6 of The Last Dance documentary. So with that being said, if you are new to the channel, make sure you go ahead and you subscribe, because I do bring the content every single day for you guys. So make sure you guys go ahead and subscribe and turn on the post notifications so you're notified every time I drop a new video, and follow me guys on my social media links in the description, and you can find those. With that being said, I got a lot to get to. I got to talk about this episode 5 and 6. Phenomenal, as have been all the episodes, but let's talk about it. Let's jump into it right. So I thought about going in order, but then I'm like, you know what? I'm just kind of going to jump around here because we got a lot to talk about. We got Kobe, Tony Kukoc, the USA Dream Team, the gambling, yada, yada, yada. Okay, there's a lot. All right, so let's just jump around here. We'll obviously start with Kobe, because I want to obviously get this out of the way. Paid respects, obviously. Rest in peace to the great Kobe Bean Bryant. We saw him in this episode talk about everything that you see for me. You know, that's from Michael Jordan. And obviously, we knew this, right? We know that Kobe Bryant had modeled his game after Michael Jordan. That was no secret. But to hear it from Kobe himself hits a little differently. Okay, it hits a little differently. And you see how much Kobe respected Michael Jordan. And conversely, how much Michael looked at Kobe as his little brother and kind of, you know, gave him all his teachings, if you will. But love seeing that, you know, two GOATs, two legends in Kobe and Michael going at it in the 98 All-Star game. By the way, I loved all the teams or all the players wearing their own team's jerseys in the All-Star game. This is before they had All-Star game jerseys. I mean, that was kind of fly. I might want to bring that back. Just saying, but love seeing that from Kobe Bryant. So I just want to get that out of the way and pay respects to Kobe. Let's also talk about the Dream Team, right? The Dream Team, the greatest team ever assembled, okay? And a big sticking point was the fact that Isaiah Thomas was not included on this team. Now, I actually knew about the Isaiah Thomas not being included. I just didn't know why. And, you know, you think you have a, you know, explanation, but they flat out just said it. The chemistry would have been garbage if Isaiah Thomas was on the team, okay? Mind you, this team had Chris Laettner and Christian Laettner and Chris Mullin. I got those two names confused, okay? This team had Chris Mullin and Christian Laettner, and so Isaiah Thomas is better than both of them, okay? He's better than both of them. So don't give me there was no room on the team. It was as simple as the guys on the team in Magic, Michael, Larry, etc. did not like Isaiah. Now, again, was it just because Isaiah Thomas beat them? Because he did beat them. He beat Bird, he beat Magic, and he beat Michael, okay? We don't want to admit it, but it's true. Or was it they didn't like him as Isaiah the person? You know, so to me, I think a lot of it is because of the fact that Isaiah, when he beats you, I mean, he doesn't just beat you. He wants to just, you know, rub it in your face. And I guess that obviously was something that they didn't appreciate. And so I think that's the reason why. But we clearly saw it. And so that was a new wrinkle that I actually did not know about the USA Dream Team. But still the greatest collection of talent to this day. I mean, I just mentioned Michael, you know, Magic, Bird, Scotty, Patrick Ewing, you know, just the list goes on and on. So that was phenomenal. Okay, let's change directions here and talk about the game MJ had in the Garden. Okay, he talks about the last game that he has in Madison Square Garden, and he has to wear the AJ ones, the Jordan ones. By the way, they're my favorite Jordans. I own a pair, and so he has to wear the ones because he wore the ones the first time he played in Madison Square Garden back in, you know, 84. And so Jordan wears the ones, and he had a phenomenal game, but his feet were killing, basically to the point where he was bleeding, okay? And I thought this was really interesting because obviously I've worn the ones, and they, to me, are, like I mentioned, they're my favorite Jordans to look at. Wearing Jordan 1s they're not very comfortable. Okay? I'm just going to come out and say it. Jordan 1s are not very comfortable. And that's for just straight doing walking, running activities. Michael Jordan had a phenomenal game in them. Okay, he played a basketball game in them. These are not hooping shoes. I don't care what you say. If you're a real hooper, you know that you cannot hoop in Jordan 1s. I mean, you technically can, but it's not the optimal shoe for hooping. And the fact that Michael Jordan was transparent about it was crazy to me. He comes out and he says, my feet were bleeding. I thought that was insane. And I thought that was just, just hearing him say it was crazy to me. So it just reaffirmed whatever I believed, obviously, which is you can't hoop in Jordan 1s. Yeah, you just can't hoop in 1s, okay? I don't care what you say. So moving on, another big part of the series was the second and the third championship that the Bulls won. The second one, obviously, against Portland Trailblazers, in which Michael Jordan obviously was on fire in game 1 and made all those 3-pointers, and he had the shrug game basically. And obviously they showed that when MJ was gambling with the security in the front office, in the United Center security, I should say, he's playing this game where he's tossing coins, and I guess the point of the game is whoever can get the coin, the quarter closest to the wall wins. And then the security guard beats MJ, and he does this shrug to him. I thought that was fantastic. This is the kind of footage nobody saw. This is the kind of footage we were looking for. Like, how is MJ behind the scenes, behind the curtains? And we see, dude is just an absolute gambling addict. He has to gamble all the time. And the thing about MJ and the gambling was, and I'll obviously expand on this in a little bit, is you couldn't have MJ without the gambling. Okay? MJ was who he was because of the gambling. It helped fuel his psycho-competitive nature. He needed to gamble to have that competitiveness. It doesn't matter, who it was with or how much it was for. We had the story on the plane where Will Purdue's talking about MJ coming up to them and saying, "Can I play cards with you guys?" And they're like, "Why would you want to play with us? We literally play for $1 a hand." And he says to them, "Oh, I just want to be able to say I have your money in my pocket." That right there, folks, should tell you why gambling, as much as, it's looked down upon and, MJ had a gambling problem, gambling was what made MJ great. Okay, it's what made him as competitive, as driven as he was. And so I think people are looking at it as a negative when they shouldn't. The gambling is what helped him. You can't have MJ without the gambling. You can't have one without the other. You just can't. You won't have the same MJ if he's not able to do that. And so obviously we saw gambling was a huge thing in these two episodes. And by the way, what was up with the glasses in the interview with Ahmad Rashad? I mean, you want people to believe you, MJ? Come on now. You can't rock the sunglasses. That just looks shady. I'm sorry. I love MJ, but that just looks shady, okay? Let's switch gears real quickly. I do want to talk about the 93 finals against the Phoenix Suns. Okay, in this finals, Michael Jordan just goes absolutely berserk. His scoring average was insane. He averaged over 40 points a game in the NBA finals. Ridiculous. But the guy who he was going up against, Charles Barkley, the league MVP. People forget about Chuck, how good he was. And I'm not even a big Chuck fan. I'm not. I don't like Charles Barkley as an analyst. Okay, as an analyst, I'm not a big fan of him. But I know what a damn good player Charles Barkley was. He won a league MVP during Michael Jordan's prime. Now, say what you want. Could it have gone to MJ? Sure. He could have won every year. But the fact that Charles Barkley was in the conversation and he actually ended up winning the award says a lot. Says a lot, folks. And to me, it's crazy. This man was a 6'6" power forward. We've never seen anything like Charles Barkley. We always say this about, guys like LeBron James, guys like Dirk Nowitzki, we've actually never seen a 6'6" power forward, folks. Where do you see that? And man, I hope Draymond Green's mentions are on fire today. I hope people just mention him all day and night and say, Draymond Green, how dare you compare yourself to Charles Barkley? Okay, I know you have rings, Draymond Green, but are you kidding me? You're not in Charles Barkley's league as a player. You're not. It's not even it's night and day. I'm sorry, it's night and day. Draymond Green, it's not close. You have rings as the third best player and the fourth best player when KD was there. on the team. I don't want to hear it. And Draymond Green deserves all the criticism that comes to his way when he tries to think that he's a better player than Charles Barkley. Get the heck out of here. I don't want to hear that, Draymond. Come on now. So that was something that I'm glad people got to see how good Charles Barkley is or was, because he was phenomenal. Okay. And so I really want to talk about that. And then finally, let's talk about the publicity. Okay. Michael Jordan retired after 93, retired after 98. Okay. And there's so many theories and so many opinions about why Michael Jordan retired. Folks, like, let's not complicate things and make it very simple. And a scene in these episodes should have highlighted this for you. It's MJ sitting in his hotel room, smoking a cigar. He's got a drink on the table over there. And he's basically saying, I'm confined to this hotel room. Okay. Why? Because Michael Jordan was fed up. He was tired. Okay. The pressure, the media, the press, the scrutiny, the constant, having to appease to everybody. Michael Jordan can't walk outside without, herds and herds of crowds just, mobbing him. He can't walk outside without people asking for pictures, and he takes pictures with 100 people. The 101st person he doesn't take a picture with, they're gonna say, "Oh, MJ's he's a bad person for not taking a picture with me." When MJ took a picture with everybody else, so all of that combined with the pressure on the court, it just gets to you. You get exhausted, both mentally and physically. And that's the reason Michael Jordan retired after 93. That's the reason why Michael Jordan retired after 98, folks, okay? That's what I'm going to go by. That's what I believe. Obviously, I want to hear what you guys think as well. But I'm telling you, that's why it is so hard. It is so hard to repeat, three-peat, and four-peat. I mean, you see it now, like, why there's been barely any teams that have won more than 3 in a row. I mean, to win 3 in a row is crazy in itself, but to win more than that, the amount of, patience you need to be able to go through the mentally and physically exhausting grind that takes a toll on you, folks. It really does. And that's what happened to MJ. At the end of the day, he's human. Yes, he's the greatest basketball player of all time, but he's still human. And that is what I took away from these 2 episodes. So there you have it, folks. My full thoughts on episodes 5 and 6. Really looking forward to, obviously, the next 4 episodes. So can't wait for that. Let me know what your thoughts. What were your biggest takeaways, guys? Leave a comment down below with them. I want to hear them. Let me know down below. If you like this video, please give it a big thumbs up. Please make sure to subscribe. As always, thanks for watching.